So we're back down in the fish room. It's been about 1 week since we put our female angel in quarantine. We're going to do a quick checkup and see how she is doing. Alright, well, before I show you, so I was pretty hopeful last night that well, she was pretty active. I was hoping today her Popeye would be a lot less swollen, but it is not. So let's see what we got going on here. Alright, here she is. So the Popeye is not better. Oh gosh, I don't even want to show you. That's awful. It looks terrible. Alright, so her eye is still distended quite a bit. It might not show up well on the video, but so the wounds on the top of her head, what I'm thinking is the hole in the head, it does seem to be closing up a little bit. So that I'm grateful for that. Now, what have we tried so far? We've taken her out of her normal tank, and she's in her quarantine tank. Everything is nicely oxygenated. She's getting water changes, so everything's clean. Also, we have been adding salt. So right now, we're probably sitting at about 1 tablespoon to about every 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons. So it's pretty salted. I could probably go a little bit higher and do 1 to 1. After initial quarantine, after we ran her through the general cure, I noticed her eye was not going down at all. So I started using Melafix. I wasn't too hopeful, and my hopes were not dashed too much. It says that it's for bacterial infections, and Popeye is primarily caused by a bacterial infection behind the eye, producing swelling and pushing that eye forward. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on the Melafix, so I thought I'd give it a shot since I had it, and it has not helped. So I'm going to do a large water change and get everything that I can out of the water. Get a lot of fresh water in, resalt, and try some new medications. So let me show you what I got. Now I've got erythromycin. It said treats bacterial fish disease, but I also got kanaplex. It says it treats dropsy, Popeye, fin and tail rot, and septicemia. Now I've done a little research about what I can add together here, and I don't believe that there's any interaction in between these medications, but they are both rather aggressive medications. So I'm going to start with the kanaplex and see how that does for a few days. And then if nothing happens, I will try the erythromycin. Alright, we're all set up for the water change. And I just love keeping this hose hooked up all the time. Just being able to start my water change. Coming, I promise. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and drain this down as much as I can without stressing her out. Alright, we got it down to maybe 80-90%. Now I wanted to get as much water out as we can to make sure that there's not excess medication in there, so that when we refill it, we're basically going to be starting with clean, fresh water, and then we can medicate as we need. So now it's time to fill it back up. I don't know if I'm sure you can't hear that, but that squeaking is my python. I don't know why. So anybody knows why, let me know. But while it's refilling, I'm going to go ahead and dechlorinate. I'm going to dechlorinate a little heavy just to make sure that if there is any ammonia in there, everything's detoxified. Alright, it's refilled. Just want to take a quick note here. Now, when you're dealing with antibacterials, you really need to be careful of messing up your nitrogen cycle. These antibacterials kill bacteria. A lot of them won't mess with your cycle too much, but with a quarantine tank, everything's, it's not a super well established tank. I started with a seeded sponge, but you just need to be aware that all these things that you're adding can disrupt that cycle, so you need to keep an eye on it. And also, these medications are very good at eliminating oxygen in your water. So that's why I have my sponge filter, and I also added that secondary filter up top, just to make sure that I can stay on top of everything that I need to keep an eye on. So we're going to be using the kanaplex, something that I have not used yet. So give me a second. I'm going to read some directions. So inside the package comes this nice little tube, and apparently we dose it once every 2 days, up to 3 doses. 1 scoop. Oh, there's half a scoop. 1 scoop is good for 5 gallons. So I got a 10-gallon quarantine tank. I'm going to add 2 scoops. I'm going to add 2 in here and mix it up with some tank water. Hopefully dissolve it a little bit better, a little faster, and get some even distribution right away. That's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and dump it on in. Make sure to rinse it out, get every last bit. Alright, the tank is medicated. Now, I don't know if you can see it right here. I've taken to writing on my tanks with a dry erase marker just so that I can remember when I do everything. So I'm going to go ahead and add our new date for our new medication on there so that I know exactly when it was done. So I got a quarantine started on 6/12. 6/12. So that's when quarantine started. Let's see, today is the 19th, 6/19. We'll just put KP, kanaplex. Alright, so that I know in 2 days I can go for another dose. Alright, I thought I was done, but I totally forgot to add our salt. So we'll go ahead and get that in there. Alright, I've got my handy dandy tablespoon for the fish room. Start measuring it out here.
Hello. What you doing?
Measuring salt.
How's this girl doing with her eye?
Yeah, it's not good.
Is it worse?
It's not better. That's why we're doing all this here. Alright, I got 6 tablespoons of salt. Yeah, it's a lot of salt. Oh, it's hot in the fish room. Alright, we got our salt. I'm going to grab some tank water so we can go ahead and start dissolving it a little bit. Alright, now we're just going to add our salt in. That looks crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, we've done our big water change. We've added medicine. We've salted it. And now there's not... Well, she still has energy. She's swimming around. If any of you have dealt with Popeye or other bacterial infections, what have you used? Let me know. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you for watching. Everybody wish her good luck, and I will give you an update here in a few days to see how it's all coming along. Bye.